movie. Nicer, just leave it. All right, here we go. It says, at the palace, the prince learned that an enchanting maiden had arrived, and he greeted her himself. The other guests were puzzled. That means they were confused. Who was this beautiful stranger? They don't know who it was, but it's really
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Completely smitten, the prince had eyes only for Cinderella. They danced every dance together. Cinderella found herself deeply in love. She was so happy that she took no notice to what time it was. Suddenly, the clock began to strike 12. Dong, dong. A long time ago, clocks made noises.
Yep.
It's 12 o'clock. It's midnight. What's going to happen?
The stuff is gonna turn back. They're gonna turn into mice.
Remembering the warning, Cinderella ran from the prince's arms out of the ballroom and down the steps of the palace. But in her haste, she lost one of her glass slippers. Wait! Wait! Cried the prince. I don't know your name. She never told him her name. She lost her glass slipper. How's he going to find her if he doesn't know her name?
Yeah.
Cinderella's golden coach sped away from the palace, but at the stroke of 12, the fairy godmother's warning came true. The coach was changed back into a pumpkin. The horses were turned back into mice, and the coachman back into a rat, and the footman back into lizards, and Cinderella was once again dressed in rags. She didn't make it very far, did she? Because then the carriage turned back into a pumpkin. Can't ride in a pumpkin. Jay, I need you to sit on your bottom. Discovering the tiny glass slipper, the prince vowed to find and marry the beautiful stranger. So he traveled the kingdom far and wide, trying the slipper on every girl's foot. But it fit no one. Finally, he arrived at Cinderella's house. Me first, cried the elder stepsister, extending her long, skinny foot. But she could only manage to get her toes into the slipper. My turn, cried the younger stepsister, thrusting her pudgy foot at the prince. She pushed and shoved, grunted and groaned, but the slipper would not fit. May I try it on? Said Cinderella, stepping out of the shadows. Oh, here she is. Because Cinderella knows that it's going to, yeah, that's her shoe. Cinderella's over here. Didn't fit anybody else. Prince didn't know her name, but he had her slipper. The glass slipper fit perfectly on Cinderella's tiny foot. I have found my princess, said the prince. We shall have our wedding tomorrow. On that festive day, the kingdom rejoiced. Generous and forgiving, Cinderella moved her family into the palace and found a lord of the court for each of her stepsisters to marry. She took her whole family, even her mean stepmother and mean sisters. It's okay. The fly's not going to hurt us. To the king, to the kingdom, to the palace. Would you take your mean stepsisters and your mean stepmother to live with you at the castle?
No.
I don't think I would be that nice either. Yes, sweetheart.
But I will take my dad.
I will tie them in a little bit, sweetheart. You just have to be patient. Cinderella's fairy godmother moved in too, just to make sure that everybody lived happily ever after. Because the fairy godmother then was looking out for her so that her mean stepmother and evil stepsisters were not mean to her. Oh, look who moved in with. The rat. Would you want that rat living in your castle?
No.
No, you don't want those kind of creepy crawly things living in your castle. Yuck. All right. My sweets, we got done a little bit early. I'm going to read to you one thing from our Jesus Rhyming Bible, and then we will go have lunch, because lunch is not here yet. We're a little early. So let me open up our Rhyming Bible.
There we go.
All right.
Last human is even next rhyming Bible.
My sweets, just be patient, please. All right. We did not read about Jesus's ascension when he went up into heaven. Now, his friends probably were sad that Jesus left. But it's a happy thing, because what did Jesus promise? He will come back to take us with him. And he said, I'm preparing a place for you. So when you go to heaven, when you get there, because you love Jesus, Jesus isn't going to go, where should I put you? He has a place specifically for you. So when I go to heaven, he'll say, Mrs. Barch, here's your room that I made for you. Mr. Barch, here's your room. Jaden, here's your room. Kylan, here's your room. He's making a place for you. And so Jesus says, I will come back because I'm going to take you to be with me. I'm not going to live in heaven by myself. It says Jesus told his friends to wait there in Jerusalem. He said his Holy Spirit would come and stay with them. After this, he went straight up before their very eyes and disappeared among the clouds high up in the sky. As everyone was looking up, they heard two angels say, Jesus will come back again to be with you someday. If Jesus promises to come back, will he come back?
Yeah.
He hasn't yet, though, because he's waiting for more people to believe in him. And then when everybody that he knows is going to believe in him, then he'll come back and take us all to be with him. It says the Holy Spirit came to them, just as Jesus said. He came with flames of fire that landed on each head. From that day on, they told the world the good news about God's Son and how he came to give new life to each and every one. Now, these fires did not burn up their heads. I didn't get to tell you about Pentecost when the Holy Spirit came. The fire did not burn up their heads, but it was a way for everybody else who was in the room to see, holy smokes, God is with these people. Because if you had fire on your head, what would be happening? It would be burning. This fire was not burning. That was for everybody else to see. And then God, the Holy Spirit, let them talk in different languages. Because God said, I don't want just one group of people to know about me. I want the whole world to know about me. So if the whole world needs to know about me, I need people who speak Chinese. I need people who speak Spanish. I need people who speak German. I need people who speak Italian. So all the disciples then could speak in different, or French, to speak in different languages, because he wants the whole world to know about him. Mitchell, thanks for joining, my sweet. We're going to have some lunch. We'll see you for math later, okay, my love? Bye, sweetie. My loves, your food is here. Let's eat so you can have